All right, guys. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome back. Listen, so apologizing for the last live stream or the last two live streams where the internet kept cutting off. So supposedly it was my equipment and the outlet in the wall over here. So the outlet in the wall wasn't pulling enough power, so it was cutting off the internet. So, and the only reason why we knew that is because we had a guy come over and he actually looked at the other box inside. Anyway, bunch of technical bullshit, but nonetheless, hopefully it won't happen today. The guy came over, squared it away, so we should see. If it happens again, I'm gonna finish up this live stream. Then I gotta head uptown and then use the internet up there. If it gets to that, hopefully it won't. All right, guys. So anyway, let's start with the basics. How do I look? How do I sound? If I am peaking, let me know. Hopefully that's a little better. All right. Hello. 66, 120. Not bad. Apologize. I have to hook in real quick because I am actually not plugged in, which is strange. Anyway, guys. So, as a lot of you saw, today's live stream, we're going to talk about food situations that are going on that can absolutely lead to a food shortage. Now, I thought personally we were going to see a more prominent food shortage around now into the summer, but it seems like that might not happen yet. But we are going to start seeing some issues with food in the next couple of weeks. In the next couple of months, rather. Now, remember, I know a lot of you guys, a lot of you guys that live in the sticks, or rural areas, you'll probably see the food problems first. Matt D, yes, inflation is definitely a problem. We are all seeing food prices go up. That's for sure. That's like one of the first things that we are all noticing, that there's a definite food shortage going on. Food inflation prices going on. I mean, listen, inflating prices are happening across the board in everything else as far as food, construction materials, right? Even something as simple as like painting, paint is going up. So it's everything all at once. Sorry, guys. The dog hears somebody next to the door, and he usually goes off off on a tangent. Anyway, guys. So listen, food issues, and I'm gonna call them issues right now because I don't want to call it a food crisis like I've had in the past. I don't want to say food shortage just yet. But I do want to say that we're going to have issues because these issues are going to spiral into possible food shortages or food problems, right? So I guess it's food issues, food problems, then food shortages. So let's start with that. S. Hudson, yeah, he's a good alarm, if you will. I mean, like he starts barking, and then of course he gets our attention, and we're like, who the fuck's at the door? We that's how we react to it. But 9 times out of 10, it's nothing. So, again, guys, with that, he's a good guard dog. But I'm pretty sure that if somebody was to pop in forcefully, I think he'd lick him to death. He's not like aggressive, which is good. He's just a good alarm system. All right, guys. So starting with the food situation first, let's go with the whole water shortage declaration. Now, I spoke about that in a live stream, last week or the week before last. And the water shortage declaration, for those that don't know, there is a water shortage or a lack of water flowing down the Colorado River, and it's a future that was being estimated by the some water company. And they're looking at this water. Be ready today, man. Thank you for the donation, and I will call you back. I'm sorry, I was super busy today at work, and then trying to get videos out at the same time. It was horrendous. So with the water declaration, guys, because there's a four, I guess there's a future on less water in the Colorado River. A lot of states like Arizona, Nevada, Utah, the country of Mexico, and Texas, if I'm not mistaken, all have to start cutting back on their water supplies. Now, as of right now, I know in California, sorry, in a lot of states, they have to be careful of how much water they use. Now, they've been pulling back on, let's say, gardening your lawn, right? Using water for your lawn. They've been pulling back on that a lot lately. So with that, people are trying to pull this up because I have it written down here, believe it or not. People are going to have shitty lawns. But listen, a shitty lawn is the least of your problems, right? So it's called the Bureau of Reclamation. These people are looking at the water flow. They're watching less snow at the ice caps in the Rocky Mountains. So with less water flowing from there, that's less water flowing into the Colorado River. Less water flowing in the Colorado River, less people can use that water because there's going to be less water in the river. That makes sense, right? So the states that are affected, the 7 states that are affected by this are Arizona, Colorado, California, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. Not Texas, sorry. Nevada, Arizona, and Mexico have voluntarily given up some of their water, or they voluntarily told the Bureau of Reclamation that they're going to use less water. Sorry. So with using less water, they're trying to, I guess, head off a crisis. But unfortunately for them, they are headed towards that crisis. So that's what the water shortage declaration is. Now, with the water shortage declaration, guys, it affects growing cities and farms. Now, the farms that it's going to affect, obviously, is going to affect those farms that are growing produce that we actually, eat. So we're going to see that shortage first, and that's going to obviously play a giant role in everything else. Now, there's also cattle, horses that drink this water that they might have to cut back on. I don't see how they're going to do with cattle, but or horses for that matter, but they might have to cut back on it. They might start rationing it off. Don't know yet. With that, guys, the prices on these produce and meats are going to skyrocket even higher than they are now. Now, we're all watching food prices go up, inflate, right? We're watching, I don't know, man. How do I say? We're watching beef, for example, go up, right? We're watching chicken, pork, bacon go up. We're watching those prices actually climb, and we're sitting here going, what the fuck, right? So it's only going to keep going up. It's probably going to go up to a point where it's going to be unaffordable to a lot of people. But you know what they're going to make affordable? That, what is it called? Possible foods or impossible foods? That fake meat bullshit, that protein crap. They're going to make that affordable so that you can start so that you can start being weaned off of meat. Now, I'm going to go into the whole meat thing. A lot of you guys heard me say this before about the Great Reset. The Great Reset, one of the things was they wanted us to eat less meat, right? I think you're lying. Next target. Elaborate on that, please, because again, this is stuff that I'm looking up, researching. Oh yeah, and next target. You can also look it up yourself, you idiot. I mean, listen, there's always that, guys. You can always look it up yourself and, be like, oh, he's lying. Oh, holy shit, he is telling the truth. I feel like an asshole now. Maybe I should apologize to him by liking and subscribing to his channel. You can also do that. But anyway, guys, with the Impossible Foods CEO saying 2 years ago that meat was going to be obsolete in 2030. That they were going to try to make it that we are given meat as a treat, not as a staple. Which I'm like, whoa, so now you're telling us what we're going to eat and when we're going to eat it. Now, according to Ice Age Farmer, who got this out of an article, I'm not sure what article he got it out of, guys, but Ice Age Farmer did mention that Biden wants to cut our meat consumption down by 90% by 2030. 90%. That's here in the United States, right? And that Impossible Meat, guys, sorry, right, Impossible Meat is that fake meat shit. It's protein-based or plant-based or something like that. So that's going to be affordable to those that can't afford meat. And then the rest of us who are still eating meat are probably going to be paying an arm and a leg for it, right? So with that, guys, this is just, again, stuff you can all look up. I don't sit here and make total lies. I don't sit here and spin anything around to my benefit. It's stupid, guys, you know, because the one thing about the internet, I hope a lot of you can realize this, that when you lie on the internet, you can be found out on the internet. It's that simple, right? So anything that I say, anything that Ice Age Farmer says, anything that Bear Independent, Canadian Prepper, Urban Prepper, NY Prepper, you know, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, anything one of us we say, anything we say can all be researched, guys. And we research it before we actually say these things, right? And we don't embellish on what we read. We read what we read and we pass it on. That's it. And it's not like, listen, we all can't get everything that's out there. You know, it's impossible. I have to go to Ice Age Farmer to catch some shit there. I go to Pinball Preparedness to catch some of his shit. Prepper Now, I head over to his channel, and he talks about a lot of stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know that was happening. So you got to go to different sources, but then when you go to these YouTube channels, you go to their main source. When you go to their main source, you start reading it for yourself, and then you type it up, right? Yeah, Milo on the ready, absolutely. They'll be eating steak and we'll be eating fucking... Well, first of all, we won't be eating shit. This is what we have local farmers for, guys. This is where we farmer markets. This is why we have smaller farms that we can go to and buy these meats from. We have to keep them in business. Now, that's not to say that the government won't make it hard for farmers to have cows or own cows, or private farmers to own cows. It's not to say that they won't do it, because I can absolutely see them doing that. But, unfortunately, we have to wait and see. Thank you, Prepper 101. Hit the like button or get 2 dicks in the face, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what 2 dicks you'll be getting, but that's what Prepper 101 said. So hit the like button or that'll happen to you. Other than that, guys, listen. The food shortage, like I said, I don't want to say that because though we probably will be seeing one, it's going to be a while. It's going to be like the frog in a pot. It's going to slowly get there, right? And some of us might be getting used to the situation. And then you're going to start seeing more commercials about that Impossible Meat crap. And then when you see more commercials about that, you are slowly going to start thinking, you know what? Maybe I will try the Impossible Meat. How bad could it be? And that's when they got you. As soon as you say that shit to yourself in your head and you try it, they already got you. David Foltz, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. So you got to keep this in mind, guys, that you got to keep this in mind. They're going to start playing these commercials more often to get us brainwashed into believing that possible meat crap, that plant-based shit is good for us. It's not. You know what I tried the other day? Don't try this. Don't drink it. Don't look at it. If you see it, fucking burn it or kill it with fire. It's fucking disgusting. But it was avocado milk. Avocado milk. Now, some of you guys are probably like, oh, that's not bad. That's how they get you. They get you with shit milk like that. I drank it, and at first I was like, ugh. And then I drank it again, and I was like, okay, it's not bad. Then I drank it some more, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know? So, don't do it. Impossible Meat is not, no. Okay? I mean, avocado milk is not something you should be drinking. Forget about it. It was like, you know, listen. It wasn't completely disgusting, but I wouldn't drink it again. And it was a small bottle, and I had guys at the firehouse, you know, we tested it out. Some of us were like, oh, it wasn't bad. And I think one guy was like, why not just eat an avocado? Randy, we were just trying it out, that's all. You know, we were giving it a shot, and it wasn't good. So, don't do it, you know? All this profanity. Yeah, Hutch. You know how we roll here. It's fucking, it's like the Wild West in this chat. Anyway, right, guys. Avocado milk, again, it's just like these milks. They're trying to get you away from regular milk, cow milk. That's what they're trying to get you away from. So they're introducing almond milk. They're introducing oat milk, rice milk, goat milk, right? And goat milk is going to start fading away because it's an animal. Then they got avocado milk. Then there was another milk that I saw that I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't remember what it was. But whatever it was, guys, whatever the milk was, I remember it was like, who the fuck makes this milk? But they're going to start pushing different style of milk out there. So keep that in mind. Oh, that's right, soy milk. For us men to grow vaginas and titties. So stay away from soy milk, guys. So again, yes, Latina Prepper. Oat milk and almond milk is not bad, but it's also part of the plan. It's part of getting us away from cow milk. Now listen, health-wise, we're not supposed to be drinking milk anymore. Cow milk, whatever milk you want to call it. We're not supposed to be drinking that milk anymore. So health-wise, almond and oat milk is actually good for you. Avocado milk is right up there with spam. Don't touch it. Don't look at it. If you see it, run the fuck away from it. Thank you, Humble Lion. Hemp milk. That's the other one. All right, leave it alone. The only milk that I really drink now is half and half, and that's not drinking it. That's putting it in my coffee, though a lot of that is, it's more half and half than coffee, but whatever. Tommy M, exactly. Soy milk destroys your testosterone. So, for you guys out there that are drinking soy milk, stop it unless you want to grow breast. Other than that, guys, with the food issues coming about, which are going to turn into food problems, which will later be food shortages, the things we can start doing right now is gardening. If you have the area to garden, start gardening, right? Start collecting seeds. I'm actually collecting seeds ahead of time. I'm going to vacuum seal those seeds, and hopefully that'll keep them, fresh, or put them in a jar and just, close it off. Whatever you guys suggest I do with the seeds, please let me know in the chat or the comment section below. Canning. So I cracked the canning book open and I started thumbing through it. So I'm one step closer to canning. This week is the week I start. I'm getting all the supplies Monday, and Monday afternoon I'm going to start canning. But I'm going to try. I don't know what to start with, so I'm buying everything and seeing what happens. Hopefully I don't blow my kitchen up. Canning is something we need to start doing more and more for ourselves. Gathering more canned good, guys. Obviously, hey, Alaska Prepper, what's going on? Obviously, you keep prepping. You keep storing this shit away. You don't stop. You can't stop. And the only canned meat I really eat is corned beef hash. Right, that's it. And again, if I have fucking spam, it's a weapon. It's not to eat, right? And if we're eating that, that's like cannibal. No, we start eating that, I'm in trouble. So, guys, back to the limiting meat consumption. They're trying to get us accustomed to less meat. I think this is why, they're pushing all that other bullshit out, all those other milks, sorry. And I heard somebody say that the Impossible meat, the fake shit, oh no, the Burger King one, right? They have like a veggie burger, some bullshit like that. People are like, yo, that shit tastes just like a burger. That's exactly what they want you to think. That it tastes like it, therefore you can actually do without real meat, and you can eat this fake shit because it tastes like meat. But it's not. Doesn't hold the same properties. Doesn't hold the same health properties either. Right? And at what point are they going to start skimping on the fake meat? The protein shit, the plant-based shit. At what point are they going to start skimping on that? Hey, corned beef hash, guys, is the shit. I know some people don't like it. Andrea, she says she doesn't like it. I love corned beef hash. I mean, forget it. That's like a different conversation for a different day. Sorry. Oh, shit. We're doing good. We're moving along. All right. So, guys, again, like I said, the CEO also of Impossible Meats, when making a statement about not eating not wanting us to eat meat in 2030, they also want to get rid of animal products by 2030, 50%. So they want to do 50% of animal-based products. Sorry. And again, another fucking overreach. So now they're telling us exactly what we're going to eat and how we're going to eat it. Right? There's a lot of people here that like corned beef hash. Very good. Right? And they're going to tell us how to eat it, what to eat it, and when to eat it. Like, I mean, really. So they want us down to something like 1 burger a month or 4 burgers a year, some shit like that. Again, that was according to Ice Age Farmer. I didn't get a chance to dive deep into his source, but I did read some of it, and I was just like, so this push for less meat, guys, is actually happening. And why are they pushing for less meat? Not just because of the Great Reset, but also because they're looking to control our diet, which leads to controlling other things. They want us to be dependent on them, it seems like. Patty B, thank you for the donation, right? And it's just interesting that they're trying to, listen, they're trying to control us in every facet of life right now. I mean, down to what we eat, how we wear a mask, how we social distance, whether or not we take the vaccine. And guys, the Angry Truth at 10:15, we're going to dive into some serious shit with the vaccine. Now, there's people getting fired or losing their jobs for not taking the vaccine. So we're going to dive into that in a little bit. In the next hour, rather. We're going to dive into that. And that's getting serious. That's getting a lot more serious than, and faster than I thought. Latina Prepper, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Right? So, be ready today. Absolutely, right? It is a start to the end. This is what, and here's the thing, guys. We have to fight back against it, because what they're doing is they're introducing us these things, and we're sitting there eating this fake meat, going, man, this is pretty good. They have those taste testing commercials where people are like, yeah, man, this is I like this stuff. Or this tastes just like meat, and that's how they got you. As soon as you say it tastes just like meat, they got you, right? So I refuse to eat that shit, and if I own a farm, if I get to own a farm at some point, guess what I'm going to fucking do? Have my own livestock, because they're trying to get rid of livestock as well. Somebody says that they're doing something with chicken. I can't recall what it was, but it was something with their feed, and how their feed is all of a sudden so expensive that they have to cut back on the amount of, farmers have to cut back on the amount of chickens they have on their farm. Right? So they're doing this from the outside. Meanwhile, the rest of us in here are like, well, what the fuck's going on? Well, maybe we're going to have to go outside and start attacking these people. We're going to have to start laying into them. I don't know, Yeah, are there trolls in here? I guess they are. Like I said before, guys, I say it again. Trolls are a part of life. That's what they are, right? Trolls are the cancers of YouTube, right? So that's how I look at them. And then listen, it's a part of life. They're here to stay. Can't do much about them, right? Anyway, guys, moving right along to medical preparedness. I don't know, man. The food situation thing, I'm just not. I can't believe that we're actually watching this whole thing go down, and we're not like doing anything. We're not like writing these companies. We're not protesting it. And listen, the problem is not that there's not much protesting that can be done. Sorry. Because they are controlling the source. They're controlling what the food comes in, how the animals get fed, passing laws on saying, you know what, you can only have 25 cows instead of 50. So they're passing these laws, and they're attacking us from all angles. Meanwhile, we're sitting here, just like, well, you know what, they passed the law. What could we do? Well, we could fight. We could vote better people in office. There's a lot of things we can do, guys. But sitting back and just letting it happen is not acceptable. John McGill, yeah, you're right. Don't protest, boycott. Absolutely. Hit him in the pockets, right? You hit him in the pockets, guys, you hit him in the dick, and that hurts. So that's where we got to go. If that's where we got to go and that's what we have to do, that's what needs to happen. Ugh. Bill Gates, guys. Bill Gates is a bad dude. I'm not a big fan of him. And no one mentioned his name in the chat. I just thinking about it. He's just a bad dude. His name's written all over this shit. All of a sudden, we're listening to a computer nerd. This computer nerd gained the absolute power. You know how we boycott this computer nerd? We stop buying his fucking computers. Right? If people are that concerned, we should stop buying his shit. Well, whatever. I mean, that's me talking shit. What do I know, right? I'm just a fucking, fireman YouTuber that doesn't know much. Bishoy, yeah, you're right, man. Fuck him. And listen, Bill Gates is the enemy of the world. And yet, people, they're sucking his dick left and right. Oh my God, Bill Gates, you're the greatest. You came up with Windows 1000, and sucking him off. I'm like, dude, really? He's a fucking computer nerd that has no doctrine in any of the shit he talks about. Yet here he is talking about vaccines and how to administer it, right? Yeah, guys, you know what? And everybody's like, Bill Gates is a Rothschild. He's this, he's that. Oh, talking about conspiracy theories, guys. My first, or your first, rather, conspiracy theory videos will be released under a title called Rabbit Hole, under a section called Rabbit Hole. The people who have access to the Rabbit Hole videos are the people who are a member of the Angryprepper community. So if you're a member of the Angryprepper community, you're going to see these Rabbit Hole videos. And I'm going to have Rabbit Hole videos on the Angry Truth and Rabbit Hole videos on the Angryprepper. On the Angryprepper, they're going to be all like theory-based or conspiracy theory-based, but we're going to have fun with them. So I'm not going to sit there with a tinfoil hat on and be like, yo, they're reading our brains. None of that crazy shit. But these are just videos that we're going to explore thoughts and we're going to explore some conspiracy theories on both channels. But you have to be a member of the Angryprepper community or the Angry Truth community. The membership, or the Angryprepper membership, sorry. Okay, so what I'm reading here is a title from Epoch Times. And the title reads, China in Focus. Indian variant of CPC virus found in China. I'm looking at this like, the hell did that just say? So now they're trying to say that now that the Indian variant is in China, you know what China's going to do? They're going to flip this shit on India now and start blaming them for the virus in their country when it actually started in their country, China. It's very interesting. It was a very interesting title. Epoch Times, guys. They're not bad. They're not a bad news source to listen to. I like them, but I also listen when I read shit. I try to stay centered. I don't try to I don't follow along with anyone one way. I follow along in the middle. I stay in the middle and I read what I read and I'll make my decision from there. I don't read something and just because, let's say, Epoch Times reported or Max News reports it, I go, man, whatever they say is the truth. No, I still got to do my research, man. We all do. We all got to do our research. Can't just Scott's Lance, how do you become a member? Under this video, like right under your screen, if you're on the computer, it should say, there should be like a membership button. If you're on your phone, I have no clue. Or you can, hold on, you can just click this link that I'm going to drop in the chat. I'm going to drop this link in the chat, and then hopefully you guys can click from there. Those of you that are interested. Listen, guys, again, this is not for everyone, right? This is just for people who want to have some fun with conspiracy theories. That's all it is. But my first video is coming out tomorrow. That one's on UFOs. So hopefully you guys, Kevin R., thank you for that. Confirmation bias is the term you are looking for. That's what you are trying to avoid. Thank you, sir. Absolute right. Thank you. I didn't even know that was a term, so I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to stay in the middle. I'm just not trying to fucking, oh man, Newsmax said such and such. It's got to be true, I mean, guys, for example, a link doesn't work. All right, Carol, then if it doesn't work, you'll have to go into one of my videos and click the link from there. Hopefully it works there. I don't know if YouTube shut down the whole link thing now because they're fucking pricks. Oh yeah, it doesn't work anymore. No shit. All right, listen, sorry, I tried, but yeah, it's just a membership thing, guys. For those of you that are interested, it's a fun time. Anyway, let's get back to it. Sorry, medical preparedness, guys. Now, some of you saw my video this afternoon. You saw the video this afternoon, and we're talking about medical preparedness. And the medical preparedness came out of the whole crisis in India and how. Thank you, Brad. It's the join button, right? So there should be a join button at the bottom of the screen, right? Right underneath the screen to your right, there should be a join button. It should be right next to the subscribe button, right? So, guys, India has this crisis going on. COVID's kicking its ass over there, and a lot of people were saying that the government was not prepared. The government wasn't prepared for the second wave. They weren't doing the right things to get ready for it. And when it hit, it took them by surprise. And with that, their lack of preparedness are why some people are dying. All right, so their lack of preparedness is not just COVID. You could sit there and go, well, COVID killed them. Sorry, Jules. People like COVID killed them. All right, COVID played a role, but what killed them was the lack of preparation. What killed them was the lack of resources to help these people out. That's what killed them, guys. And for example, here in the United States, we have less people dying right now because we figured out how to treat COVID, right? Or doctors figured out, how to treat COVID. When India was told that they were going to get a second wave, it was almost as if they said, "Fuck it," It's we're not going to worry about it. And then it takes the country by storm, and now they're like, man, fuck. Humble line. I can absolutely, I would agree with you on that. India being a targeted nation through China, and then China trying to flip this around and make it as if, India started it with them. Hey, TJ, what's going on? How you doing? Right, guys? So, anyway, medical preparedness is something that we don't talk about much. A lot of preppers sort of gloss over it. They'll get their first aid kits. They'll get a Band-Aid and put it in their bug-out bag and be like, oh, I got my first aid kit. Meanwhile, there needs to be more of us in the medical field. Now, again, a lot of us are too old to be going to medical school. Not that we're too old to go to medical school. We don't have that time to go to medical school, right? But you can definitely take some classes. You could take courses. You could read some books. I have a nursing book. I don't have a nursing book. My ex-wife has the nursing book. If she didn't toss that in the garbage, it was an excellent nursing book. But you can get your own nursing book there's an NYU store downtown, and they sell medical books because they have a medical program there, and that's where I found a nursing book. I found it on a mailbox, and I remember thumbing through it, and it had this great information inside of it. I was like, holy shit, this is like the Bible. At least for me it was. And these are books that we can get and you can read. The problem is, guys, for example, stitching. You're going to want to practice stitching on a pig, and I mean a part of a pig, whether that's a pig leg or you get like a slab of a pig's chest, and you learn how to stitch on that. There's a lot of things that you can practice because unfortunately we're going to have to practice, right? You can get medical gear, guys. You can get medical supplies. You have to learn how to use those medical supplies and medical gear. Tommy M, you're right. Skinny Medic and Patriot Nurse would be the two that I would follow. You can also look into holistic practices as well. You can look into trying to fucking see where I had the list. I don't have the list. In my video about medical preparedness, we talked about other courses you can take, trauma courses you can take. First aid courses, guys, I would stay away from. only because first aid courses are really simple. They're flat out, like, it's straightforward. It's not much you can do with it. But if you take like a trauma course, a stop the bleed course, that's good. If you take again a herbal course, what is that called? Like medicinal. No, sorry. Fuck. There's holistic and the homeopathic. Thank you. Homeopathic courses. If you take those, that's going to help as well. But you can also follow certain doctors on YouTube. Like I said in my video, though, I would absolutely check those doctors' backgrounds and their credentials before you do so, right? You just don't, you just don't follow any old doctor, because you could be following this doctor for a while, right? Just an example. You're following this doctor for all of a sudden he starts talking about some kooky shit, and you're like, what the fuck, right? So you got to make sure you follow doctors with credible backgrounds and has credentials to actual medical colleges or schools rather. Carl Yaney, I heard that, but which vaccine? All vaccines? Some vaccines? Because that's Alzheimer's and ALS. That's that can be started by a lot of things. Oh wow, Ronan Snow Tiger said get the 75th Ranger Medic Handbook and study JSOC stuff. Roger that, sir. Can you? All right. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Hopefully, I'll remember it by the end of this. By the end of this chat. All right, guys. So books are good as well, just like Ronan Snow stated. He's, these are books that we need to get. And then there's a couple of other books. There's a book on what is it? Essential oils. You can get a book on that. Those are good. And yes, guys, essential oils do work. The government doesn't want you to look into essential oils at all. They don't want you to look at it. They don't want you to fucking be around it. They don't want you to breathe on it. But essential oils do work. Especially like peppermint, for example. Stomach aches, headaches, right? You rub it on your hand here. Headaches, you rub it on your temple. You stomach ache, you rub it by your stomach. These things actually work. Eucalyptus works. These are things that they want us to get away from, so that our body is completely and utterly dependent on the system, which is the big pharma. They want us dependent on them. This is why they don't want us looking at homeopathic things. This is why they don't want us looking at vitamins. Some senators or politicians, want to get rid of vitamins. They think it's a danger to society because they want us fucking focused on their drugs. Big Pharma wants us to be crackheads to this shit. Kevin R., very good. That's interesting. Right, guys? So there's all these things out there that can actually work. Now, keep in mind, guys, this stuff doesn't work for everyone, right? So just because I said, hey, look up essential oils, you could try which one works for you. None of them might work for you. You might need to go with Big Pharma. You might need to take some of their drugs. You might. But before you start taking your drugs, you should be entertaining a lot of things like correcting your diet, flushing out your liver, right? Eating proper food, eating healthier food, right? These are things, guys, that we should be entertaining before we go to the hospital, before we go to the doctor, right? Keeping your immune system strong is going to battle a lot of things down the line, so that you don't make frequent trips to the doctor. Now, obviously, if you have cancer, that's a different ball game altogether. There are a couple things with cancers you can do naturally that I've heard work. Then I've read a study, and I think it was a French, about 5-6 years ago, maybe 7. They were saying that they did a study on what was it? They did a study with, I think it was apricot seeds and cancer, and how it shrunk the size of the cancer, but it didn't cure it altogether. Or maybe it did, and they didn't want to say that, but nonetheless, it was there. Eduardo, homeopathic stuff, again, it doesn't work for everyone, right? These things are not built to work for everyone, unfortunately, but it does work for a lot of people, right? And that's what you have to keep in mind, right? It's things like that. Taking a cold spoon when you have a headache and compressing it to your, to your temples, that gets rid of headaches. It's got rid of plenty of headaches of mine doing that, right? Doing that method, if you will. Yeah, water, I get it. Some people are addicted to pharmaceutical drugs because that's what they want. Here's the problem with homeopathic stuff and natural remedies. Homeopathic stuff and natural remedies, guys, it takes longer to work. That's the problem. I think that's why so many people are relying on big pharma, because big pharma works faster, unfortunately, right? But if you try, what is it? White oak, right? White oak bark. If you have a stomach ache, you drink that. It's supposed to quell your stomach, and if I'm not mistaken, diarrhea. This is white oak bark. Willow bark, right? That's good for headaches as well. You drink that, it quells the headache, but again, that takes time. So we are a creature of fast. We want everything fast. We want to be cured fast. We want our delivery fast. We want our food to be delivered to the door fast. We want everything fast and right now, and that's what Big Pharma plays off of. Instant relief, right? And that's part of our problem, guys. Part of our problem is instant relief. This is all we want. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival said, working on the wilderness first aid class at Angryprepper. So he's talking to me. I said, yeah, make it happen. But I want like a comprehensive wilderness class, like a medical class. I have a wilderness medical book that's probably about this thick. Awesome shit, guys. So much information on it. My mother bought it for me years ago, and about a year or two later, I looked at it. It was like, whoa. It was spot on. There was a lot of good shit in there, man. You were just short of becoming a medic, with the exception of administering any kind of drugs, which you can. Be charming, exactly. Ginger is great for upset stomachs. Absolutely great, right? And then there are other things, guys. Oh, with the certification. Very good, Hudson Valley. I'm in on it. Just let me know when. Right? Again, thank you, Independent Marine. Right? Plantain, sassafras, chicory. For many ailments. Right? And this stuff actually works, guys, because some of us used it. We've used this stuff. I know some of you guys don't believe it. Some of you guys are like, fuck that. I want my fucking, my Advils and my Tylenol. I get it. I get it. You're part of the system, right? It's like the Matrix. It got you. You're in, Ronin, right? Sugar is a big inflammatory food, right? It's a huge inflammatory, and if you have a head injury, you should stay away from taking sugars, right, or eating any kind of sugar or carbs for that matter, because your brain gets slightly inflamed when you eat. From a study, again, I read a year ago. My buddy put me on that study. I thought that was very interesting. So that's why some people get headaches like myself after we eat certain foods. Right? Garlic for bad tooth. Right? Baking soda, glass of water will settle your stomach as well. See, guys, like I said, there's many different cures out there. And that's, thank you, Be Ready Today, the research. You guys have to research this stuff, and you can try a lot of this stuff. Because, guys, guess what? Guess what happens if you try some of these natural remedies? If it doesn't work, oh the fuck well. It won't kill you, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. Online courses are good, but my problem with online courses is that you don't get the hands-on experience. That's the problem with online courses, right? Now, you could probably take a holistic course or homeopathic course online because you're reading a lot of shit and it's not bad. But when you want a hands-on like trauma course, you cannot take a trauma course online. I don't give a fuck what school tries to sell you that bullshit. You cannot take a trauma course online. Unfortunately, you have to be in the classroom and actually do the things that are required for you to do, right? So that's how you practice, guys. You practice by actually going to the class. But if the online course is the only thing you can do, well, then if that's all you got, then that's what you're going to have to do, unfortunately. But I would wholeheartedly recommend against online courses, right? Because it's just a pain in the dick. And like I said, you just don't get anything out of it. You don't feed off of other people as well. When you go to training, like actual training courses in classrooms, you feed off of other people, you feed off of other ideas. That is why you go to the class. You can't do it online, right? Yeah, Charlie, yeah, I know that. Again, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to do. I'd rather travel out to where she is and take the course. You know what taking a medical online course is like? It's like taking a wilderness survival course online. You can't do it. Now, Dave Canterbury had an online course, but what he did is he gave you an assignment. You took that assignment and you headed out to the woods on your own. And when you took the course, you wrote back to him what your experience was. That's not bad. It wasn't bad the way he set it up. But if you do it any other way than that, it's stupid, it's pointless, it's useless. Because you could take an online course, guys, especially like wilderness survival, but you have to go out there and implement it. That's the problem, right? The problem with taking an online medical course is that you need the repetitions. You need your hands to do the same thing over and over again so that you build that muscle memory. You can't do it at home. And unfortunately, you can't just wait for someone to get shot and go down and go, holy shit, let me try my skills out now. You can't do that. You'll fucking kill somebody, or well, you'll kill them. That's what it is. Why you want to learn Soma? What is Soma? Am I missing something? Is that an abbreviation of something? Yes, Hutch Homestead. Watching is not doing. And yet, we have people in the YouTube community that watch YouTube videos and swear that they can survive out in the wilderness. And yet, if you test them, you tell them, put your money where your mouth is and let's head outside and train, or let's head outside and see who survives the night, motherfuckers will be like, oh, I don't have to do it unless it's warranted of me doing it. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Either you get out there and do it or you don't. Soma is a drug. All right. No clue. No clue what it was. Phone reactivated. All right, guys. So, medical preparedness is just something we need to get into a little more, and we definitely need the training. CPR is good. If you live in a city or near a city like here in New York City, you're probably going to be called upon to use some of those skills. Because, like I said in my video, my video on medical preparedness, some of the skills I had to use. I had to, enact some of my medical skills to not save a life, but just help people out, and it came in handy. And medical preparedness, guys, doesn't mean you're waiting for the end of the world to fucking, to use your medical skills. Somebody can get hurt. You could be driving down the road and there's a car accident. You're going to help somebody from bleeding, right? So you have to keep that in mind, that it's also going to come in handy for the everyday life, not just the end of the world. A lot of the skills that we use, guys, or we learn, it's not just end of the world skills. Some of it is problem solving, guys, right? And if problem solving helps you in the real world, it doesn't just help you in the end of the world situation. Frezio, yeah, I like I said, YouTube does help, but it can't help with everything, right? And cutting your own hair, which is pretty impressive, that's your hair. If you fuck it up, you're only hurting yourself, you know what I mean? But if you fuck up trying to help somebody, that's a different ballgame. You can kill them or make matters worse. This is why you need to go to the actual course and not do an online course, because it's the responsibility of you helping somebody is way greater than learning how to plumb online. You know what I mean? No, that was an ambulance, guys. It wasn't a cop car. It was an ambulance. And yes, I can hear the difference of between an ambulance and a cop car, or a fire truck for that matter. You just get accustomed to it in the city. A lot of you city guys know. You'll hear some shit and be like, "Oh, that's an ambulance." A lot of us city people are so good. We can hear an ambulance, and based on the sirens, we could tell which ambulance it is, like which company it is. Sorry, right? We could tell, but not so much which company, but we can tell whether it's private or EMS, FDNY. Sorry, right? And that sounded like private. Didn't sound like FDNY EMS. Judy Jackson, does he? Very good. So, Randy, exactly. So with the apricot seeds, if you go on the website that sells them, because I used to eat apricot seeds. If you go on a website that sells them, they said you have to build a tolerance to them. So you don't just grab a bunch and throw them in your mouth. You actually have to build a tolerance to it very slowly. And they say start with 1 for like a week or 2, and then you move on to 2. But you shouldn't surpass like 6 or 8 or something like that. There's a number that you can never go past. But they said it was also good at killing cancers. But that study, which was a Canadian study, which if you look it up, you can never find again. Interestingly enough. So, guys, there's information. And listen, there's information out there that you got to be careful, right? For example, today I was on Instagram, and they were talking about better vision. And to get better vision, you should put water in your mouth and then wash your eyes out with water. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, first of all, that makes no sense. Secondly, that's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard. I said, thirdly, that is just straight out dumb. Water in your mouth and then wash your eyes out with water. And this is on Instagram. And the crazy shit is, people would believe it. They were like, that's how I get better vision? And then here they are rubbing fucking water in your eyes. Now, some water has bacteria in it. Some water is treated chemically. So you might be burning your eyes with this water. Not gonna make your eyes better. But this is the medical information that we got to be careful of. Someone left an interesting comment, but I can't see it. Something about, and that's the other thing, guys. So a lot of this information about, using natural supplements and using natural remedies to cure certain things, the big pharma companies just don't want you to fucking know about it, right? And if you do your own research and you look at research studies on these natural remedies from other countries, you'll see how the shit works. And these people have long-term studies. It's not like a month or 2 like the COVID vaccine. They did years of study on this shit, right? Years of study. Like, for example, ashwagandha, which is it's a plant, but you take it in powder form. And ashwagandha is great for men and testosterone and virility, right? Getting your dick hard. And it's also good for Alzheimer's. There's a study right now that they're conducting at this moment where they're trying to find out whether ashwagandha actually helps with Alzheimer's. Because if that's the case, I'll be popping that shit left and right. So that's a study that I'm hoping actually pans out and works. But these are things that they don't want you to know. You have to research this for yourself. They only want you to know what they want you to know. Big Pharma only wants you to know that the COVID vaccine is great and is 100% safe and it's going to stop you from getting COVID. Meanwhile, a lot of us know it's bullshit because of study and complaints that are starting to come out, right? They want you to know that vitamin C is bad for you and that you should be taking a flu vaccine. That's what they want you to know. But if you do the research yourself, you're going to see better studies out there from other countries on how these natural remedies work for you. Prepared mentality. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Right, guys? You have to be careful of the bullshit, and you have to be careful of these companies telling you vitamins are no good for you. Don't take them. Just take our fucking, our medication, and that's going to save your life, and that's going to make you feel better, and that's going to make you feel like you're on top of the world. Again, guys, we're the only country as of right now that has pharmaceutical commercials. We are a nation of hypochondriacs, and we are willing to listen to anything that sounds like it might help us for whatever we have gone through. Right? Methadone, for example. Methadone is it is the worst program for heroin addicts to be on. The worst program. There are natural remedies that you can actually use to wean you off of heroin. They don't want you to know that because the methadone market, or companies that give methadone out, they're making money. You know that even with methadone, you can actually be weaned off of heroin through methadone done correctly. But they don't want you to do that. They want you to keep taking methadone because it's a cash cow, right? That's all it is. Yes, Jeanette. Sorry, Jeanette. Oh my God, Jeanette. Sorry. Yes, do your own research, consult with your physician. Now, here's the problem with consulting with your physician. Your physician is not going to know about these natural remedies. That's the problem. A lot of them don't. And some of them are against it for whatever reason. And when you start talking about studies this and studies that and what about this, then you start frustrating them. When you start frustrating your doctor, your physician, with actual facts, you know you're on the right path. That's all I'm going to say. Joyce, I'll definitely look into that. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Taking coconut oil to slow down Alzheimer's. Yes, Prepper 101, exactly. Your doctor gets a cut out of the prescriptions they give, especially those new prescriptions that you never heard of. Your doctor's like, hey, you ever heard of fucking, quick Quickology, right? And you're like, what's Quickology? Well, Quickology helps you get better quicker. And you're like, holy shit, I'm going to fucking take Quickology. And then you take it, and then your dick falls off, you grow an extra nipple. And then the doctor's like, oh, we didn't want that outcome. I'm going to give you this other one that came by last week. They gave me this one. It's called Stop Be Gone. And then you take Stop Be Gone, and then, all right, it stopped the rest of your nuts from falling off. Your nipples, your third nipple fell off, but now you got an extra eye. So this is the kind of shit that Big Pharma's always testing on us, guys. Always testing on us. So you have to be careful. Carl, could you do me a favor and share that doctor's name on YouTube? That would be greatly appreciated. Yes, John T. McGill, absolutely right. If your doctor's giving you shit, bounce. Go somewhere else, all right? You don't need to be with that doctor if they don't want to entertain other natural treatments. If your doctor doesn't want to entertain natural treatments, guys, it's time for you to go. Fuck him or her, whoever the fuck they are. Because they are no good for you if they don't want to better your life by trying natural treatments, right? Right? Yeah, it's Milo, right? Penis be gone, right? Your penis falls off, or your nipple crust, whatever it is, guys. This is the drugs that they're giving people, and they're just having adverse reactions. So, but you don't hear about it often because it's a new drug that they were just fucking handing out, and 40 people got it, and 40 people, lost their nuts, or in women's, their vagina. So, you won't hear about it. But when you start looking at the adverse reactions online to these things, and you hear complaints from people, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? What the hell is that, right? And then when you tell your doctor about it, the doctor will say, well, it only happened to a small percentage of people, so don't worry about it. That's not you. And you're like, the fuck it is not me. I don't want my fucking dick to fall off. Who wants their dick to fall off, right? Nobody. Well, guys, none of us do. And you don't want to have you don't want to be impotent either because you took these drugs. Men still like getting up in the morning with a hard dick. Nobody wants to fucking be impotent because they took a drug because the doctor said it was good to go, and then you fucking, and there it is, laying on the floor next to when you get up in the morning. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm just saying, don't trust your doctors, guys. Not that I don't trust them. Be aware of your doctors. Let them, listen, they're going to help you, but you also have to fucking, meet them halfway with giving them some information on things you heard. But when they go right out of the gates and they go, don't, oh no, that's no good. That can't be. And that's shit. It's a shit attitude. Brandon, man, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. All right, guys, enough of nipples and dicks falling off. All right, we're going to switch over to the Angry Truth channel in about 15 minutes. I need to set up some shit. I need to get water because I'm dying of thirst here. And I just learned the other day that 2%. So your brain is made mostly of water, right? So if there's a 2% reduction of water in your brain from dehydration, your brain starts to slow down, sluggish, confused, tired. And I'm all of those right now. My mouth is super dry, so I think I'm hitting that point where I should go get some water and set up for the next fucking live stream. All right, guys? So thank you, Prepper 101. Live stream in 15 minutes, guys. So do me a favor, head over to there. We're definitely going to talk about some shit that you guys are definitely going to want to hear about what's going on with the vaccine. And the bullshit that's going along with the vaccine push. It's insane. And somebody just said Japan had a 6.8. Christina said Japan just had a 6.8 quake. All right, let's see where that goes. That's pretty big for them. All right, guys. So thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for the donations. Mods, thank you. And I'll see you mods over at the Angry Truth. Everybody else, see you in a couple minutes.